All right, we'll begin with roll call. Troy's running late, Bill's not going to be here. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Karen, would you start us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to start with public audience. Anybody wishing to address the board, you've got 5 minutes, and we can start wherever. We can start over here, Ed.
I'm here to observe.
Okay?
Same.
Okay. Who's beside you? I can't see. Beverly? Who's behind you? I'm sorry, I can't see. Miss Childs?
No. No.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Josie, did the minutes get posted on the website?
Yes, they did.
Okay, because when I looked Saturday, it was under the links, it was the same minutes for the public hearing and for the regular meeting. The link for the regular meeting went to the public hearing.
I'm sorry about that. I'll have to check that. Sometimes Yeah, I'll check that. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Behind you?
Jerry.
You guys?
Just here to
There's nobody behind you, right? Officer?
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with who this gentleman is.
My name is Terry Dugan. I'm just here to observe.
Oh, okay. You live
Welcome.
here, but,
I'm considering buying some property here,
okay.
yes.
All right, thank you.
In that case, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
Been moved in second to approve the agenda as written. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Everybody get to read the minutes of the regular meeting and the public hearing?
I have one change. It states that Jerry Norris was in attendance, but he was not.
Okay.
Public audience. So we need to scratch that out.
Anything else?
I move that we approve the minutes as amended.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Accounts receivable and payable for December.
What are the donations from, Josie? The 186?
So 170 of that was from Lions Club and Leanna for the
Christmas deal.
event.
Okay.
And then I believe the rest of that was museum donations.
Oh, okay. Advantage computer, that supplies?
It was for bill cards for the water and sewer billing.
What do we have at Whit Boys? 467.
So it's a greater tire.
Putting it on.
What is it?
The maintainer tire and putting it on.
If there aren't any other questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the accounts receivable and payable for December.
I move we approve the accounts receivable and payable for December.
One second.
Moved and seconded to approve the accounts receivable and payable for December. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? January bills. It's drinking water, just drinking water.
Yeah, it's just running the test on the water. Drinking water.
Oh, yeah.
Under Flagler Co-op, we've got 74.72 for Christmas lights.
Yeah,
Did we have to get some extras or
yeah,
something?
I'd get some colored ones.
The bulbs, you mean?
Mhm.
And we got the aerator, huh?
Mhm.
Yep.
Just in time too, before it froze over.
Is it all froze around it, just not right at planted?
Well, the one in that pond, or no, two pond is one, cause I take the one back out of one and put over two. Yeah, it froze all around it. That day was the only day that it was open, so I could
Put it back
put
in
it back
there.
in there. Or it could have been hairy.
What's juvenile assessment center?
The naughty kids.
It's like every municipality in the county is assessed a fee to contribute to.
Wasn't that it for like at-risk youth or something like that?
I think so.
I don't know if they're in Colorado Springs, ain't there?
I feel like
think
It used to be, I
is,
don't know if it
yeah.
still is. DJs, I'm assuming that's off you.
Yep. Mhm.
Make off.
No, ice.
And ice.
I don't get ice anymore.
I don't think anybody does.
I move that we pay the January bills.
Second.
So moved and seconded to pay the January bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Moving on to unfinished business. Amend the marijuana ordinance number 138.
I didn't know if anybody had anything else on this. There were no changes made to the proposed one that was at the last meeting. I know that we set a hearing for February, I think it's 8th, yeah, February 8th, 7 o'clock. So I just left it on the agenda.
We got a hearing set up for it.
Yep.
Will that be here or we do that at the firehouse where we need a larger area?
It's published for here, so
Oh, okay, it's already here.
Better start out here.
I guess if we run into an issue like that where we can't fit them all in here, while everybody's here, we'll say, let's go over there where we have room, but
Yeah,
I don't think we can change it at this point.
okay.
So if there's not anything that we're gonna change, or, well, I guess we'll move on to new business.
Okay.
So for this one, I just need the board to ratify the mayor's and mine's decision to get temporary legal counsel since Dan Kimball was put in the hospital. And to make a motion that we continue with Hoffman to see as our counsel until Stan Kimball feels he's able to take over again.
So yeah, we just need a motion to use him, and like Josie said, this is temporary till Stan gets back on his feet, so.
Does it have to be temporary?
Oh, no.
In April, you usually go down and you decide who's going to be the attorney for the time of the year. So at that point, but this is just a temporary agreement right now.
Well, I move that we approve the temporary agreement for legal services with, is it Hoffman?
Corey Huffman.
Mhm.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to agree with, to use Hoffman, is it Hoffman?
Corey Hoffman.
Corey
Yep.
Hoffman.
Corey Hoffman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Item B, resolution confirming the adoption of the Town of Arriba 2016 budget.
Let me find the resolution. Okay, so because we did not publish in the paper the hearing that was held on the 18th, we are going to have to adopt a resolution stating that we are going to operate under the 2015 budget at 90% of the amounts appropriated. Troy, I don't know if you want to read this whole resolution at all.
Yeah, it addresses the default budget rules of, and then what we're going to be required to do in subsequent meetings is to, as I understand it, revise the budget as we need to work our way into our current year. So it says the Board of Trustees of the Town of Arriba, Lincoln County do hereby resolve to resolution adopting the 2016 budget as follows. Whereas the Town of Arriba in the County of Lincoln is the body corporate operating as a statutory town, due to circumstances unavoidable and unforeseen, the town is unable to have a quorum to conduct its December 14th meeting, at which the town's public hearing for and the adoption of the 2016 budget was scheduled in accordance with the local budget laws of Colorado. Whereas the town attempted to adopt the budget at a December 18th Board of Trustees, but the town did not publish notice of the public hearing and the adoption of the 2016 budget for the 18th meeting pursuant to the state codes, although the Board of Trustees meeting was noticed as required by Colorado Revised Statutes number 246402. So Colorado Revised Statutes 29.1.108 provides that the town does not adopt its budget and make appropriations before certifying the mill levy by December 15th, or fails to make the required appropriations by December 31st, then the 90% of the amounts appropriated for 2015 are deemed reappropriated for 2016. The specific purpose is set forth in the 2015 appropriation resolution, and the town therefore desires to confirm by the adoption of this resolution that its unavoidable failure to meet the deadline for the adoption of the 2016 budget requires it to be subject to an initial 2016 budget that reappropriates 90% of the amounts for 2015 for the 2016 budget year. Whereas the town further desires to confirm that nothing in this resolution precludes it from amending the 2016 budget in conformance with CRS 29.1.109. Section 1, be it resolved that the town hereby confirms that pursuant to the 29.108, its initial 2016 budget and appropriation consists of 90% of the amounts appropriated for 2015 in its 2015 budget, and are deemed reappropriated for 2016. Copies of the 2015 budget and appropriation resolution are attached as Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein in this reference. Again, nothing in this resolution shall be construed to preclude the town from amending the budget in conformance with the budget laws of 29.1.109. So this is putting us into the default budget laws as they're provided for in the state statutes. And that's been working with Corey Hoffman on drawing that up.
So all we need is a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll make the motion that we adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to adopt the resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? exempt from audit. I'm sorry, what?
Beverly?
Can we have copies of that, as it was hard to hear Troy speak?
I'm sure we can. Get you one after the meeting, Beverly.
Thank you very much.
Item C, new business exemption from audit.
So we do have the agreement letter with Flower and Zabo Associates to do an exemption from audit. He did explain that exemptions are done on like a limit amount, how much we have budgeted, and I don't remember that amount, I'm sorry, but we are under it, so we do not have to have a full audit done. And he said that as long as we stay under that amount, we could, just keep having exemptions.
It's a certain amount
It's a certain
statewide,
amount. It's a certain amount statewide. But if we go above that amount, then we have to have a full
but our
audit.
budget's small enough to fit under that.
That's
Okay.
what he said.
So our
Okay.
budget would hardly ever change, and we'd always be there, or what?
Probably, unless we get into grant funds again.
Didn't it seem like we needed to be audited periodically to make sure that everything was?
I'd like for that to happen, yeah.
It
just
seemed
to
like
stay-
at one point we had decided every 5 years or something we
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
have
Catch something
That's
before it
okay.
gets way too far ahead
a,
of us.
correct. Mhm.
How many audits have we had now?
And I'm pretty sure the last one was in 2012.
Yeah, 3 years ago, yeah.
Pretty sure.
So we'll
It's
touch
more-
on this again next year.
Yeah, and I know
We'll
that
do it
the,
next year.
in prior experience with exemption from audit, what it is, it's more like a cursory audit. It doesn't go into great depth, but it does, they check some things in the exemption process, and if everything is copacetic in that, then they sign off on the exemption. And it does, it is more cost effective, but I think having just been 3 years, I think we're okay for another exemption.
How much was the cost, the difference in cost?
I think it was if I remember what he said right, I believe it was a 5,000 difference in cost. 2,000 as opposed to 7,000.
Yeah, I know it was a pretty good chunk.
Yeah.
Still, in the past, it did reveal that there were things that were happening that should not have been happening.
Yep. And the things that were, the way that we were doing them, that we
Yeah.
Yeah, that we had
were
slipped
better
into
this way,
sloppy
yeah.
press.
Yep.
Right, and it issued corrective recommendations that we implemented, that's true.
So I need a motion. Exemption from audit.
2012 is our last one,
Mm-hmm.
13 to 14 to 15. It'll be 4 years, this will be going to 4th year.
I move that we accept the exemption this year.
I'll second that.
It moved and seconded to accept the exemption from audit for this year. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Maintenance reports. I think it's in there.
Yep.
Talked to Pat today, we got a water inspection or whatever coming up in 17th of February.
Cleaning water inspection.
Well, it's kinda like the sewer.
This Department
State
of
comes
Health,
out and checks
Yeah.
it out.
They come do a physical check.
They come out and check us all.
What day did you say?
17th of February is when it's gonna happen.
oh, I see, it's the last item on the
He's gonna come down
maintenance report.
sometime this month once, we're gonna get everything ready. Then he'll be down on that day too.
Everything's good out there though.
Yeah,
Did we ever burn the cattails? We need to burn them here pretty quick.
yeah, we're after.
Maybe after we get another snowstorm or something.
Anytime.
I guess it's not going anywhere anyway, right?
If we got one truck out there.
Okay.
How's the grading going? Can we grade?
Yeah,
too hard?
frozen up there.
No, I mean the roads in general. Too hard.
Frozen up up there.
Can't hardly scrape
That's
them.
why I can't fill any holes either, because their sand pile's frozen up. I can put chunks out there, but I don't think anybody wants chunks.
No.
There are the holes till you just thaw it in.
At the, excuse me, I'm sorry to cut you off, but at the end of Lincoln, have you noticed that dip there? Do you think that's because of a bad tube there when you turn right off of Lincoln on the Highway 63? Because it seems like it's been getting a little worse. But
Yeah, there's a tube under there, I know that.
A culvert?
Culvert.
Where?
I think I've hit that a couple of times. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
There at the end of Lincoln,
When you go in there.
Right,
On the east end,
yeah, as you're
where it
turning
joins
right.
63.
Fill it in once and see what happens.
Yeah, see if it keeps recording.
When the sand pile thaws out, see.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments for maintenance man?
Yeah, the east light in the park is out.
East light is what?
Street
Park.
light. I called it.
Oh, you did call it in? Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay.
And the maintainer of tires, good.
Yeah, they're staying out, so.
So now we've got one good tire on it, or the rest pretty,
Yeah, they're all right.
Decent.
They just, when they decide they're gonna go gloomy, I ain't gonna be. It's one of them things you can't tell till it happens.
mm-hmm.
They do have, the other three do have some cracks in them, but. it's,
Weather and old, yeah.
Yeah.
The flagpole light working pretty good.
Mhm. Every once in a while, I gotta go tip it back up a little bit. It's got a flexible arm and it kind of falls down. You go tip it back up and it stays up for a month or two.
If there's not anything else for maintenance, we'll move on to the clerk's report.
So, first off, I just wanted to state for the record, or ask for the record, is there a deputy clerk position opening here for the town of Arriba?
Not that I know of.
Deputy clerk, what does that mean?
Be it like a psychic clerk and assistant clerk.
No.
And then the second, I just wanted to state for the record, the town did not publish the initiative petition, or what is being called as the People's Ordinance, in the paper. And I am still honoring the protest timeline, which ends January 25th. The town attorney and I are working under the belief that the court's case stayed the statutory timelines. So there is, the protest timeline ends January 25th. And then from there, we'll see what the next step is in that. So I have had a complaint against the owner of 105 Elm Street.
Which is where? Behind the old pool
Yeah,
hall?
Mm-hmm. On the other side of Leisure.
Ron Hands owns 103 Elm Street, and he says that the property 105 Elm Street, the house has got like debris and shingles and stuff that flies off into his property, into his house.
Who owns that property?
Not yet. It's still under tax, so there's
It's
nothing
kind of up in
anybody can
limbo.
do. He's called to see if he can maintain it, and he can't.
Nobody can?
Not even allowed on the property.
Not even the property owner, huh?
So,
The
but I
public,
just
yeah.
told Ron that I would bring it up in a meeting so that it was stated and people were aware of that, or the board was aware of that complaint.
Okay.
That is all I have.
Okay. Move on to treasurer's report.
Everything looked good.
See the top page. Zero it out. isn't anything on the treasurer's report, we'll move on to trustees' report. Marcella,
I don't have anything.
Caleb,
I don't have anything.
Jody?
Did we get all the thank yous out for Christmas time for the Casey Electric and Leanne and Keith?
I believe so.
Okay.
Marcella? I don't think Marcella got one. Let's get her one.
That was all I had.
Karen?
I have nothing.
Troy? In that case, Troy, we'll move right on to the report.
I'm a little bit short on copies here, if you don't mind sharing. Been a pretty active month. That's the very same report that I'll be giving to the county commissioners tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And what that does is just address ongoing economic development and community-based activities for each town, community by community. Arriba, Genoa, Hugo, Lyman, and Carville. I don't know if any of you saw the news program on Fox 31, but they had a feature on the Genoa Tower. I haven't researched it because I only watched it this afternoon online, and they didn't even mention Trish Langley in that report. They just had interviewed Jackie Higgins, and they said a community group. So I haven't explored what the criteria was for not having Trish on that, because we just had the meet and greet in Lyman for Trish Langley last week on the 7th. And she kind of laid out her timeline of what kind of money she needs to raise for the tower. I think it's generally agreed that she's got good intentions, but she needs a lot more time than what the closing contract states. So depends if the family agrees to give her more time to work on the tower, or whether it will have to, go back out on the market and be renegotiated. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Under watching that last night, I'm under the impression that she's trying to get money to buy
Correct.
the place.
Correct.
So she's not in reality buying, she's asking for donations to buy it, right?
Right. And she set up a nonprofit to do that, called the Genoa Wonder Tower Foundation. Yeah, on selling bricks. And it was the original conversation and perception of everybody that she would buy the tower and then raise money to restore it. Then we come to find out that she also needed to raise money to buy it and restore it. So it makes it that much tougher to reach. So anyway, so that's still, those items are listed because we're still involved in the process, and we'll see what happens.
Didn't they empty it when they had the auction?
They did. They sold off about what she estimates about 90% of the contents through the auction, and she still says there's 10% of stuff left. I toured it. There is still an enormous amount of stuff there. A lot of it is boxes of little plastic boxes of gems, like little minerals, sparkling minerals, pyrite, whatever, different little things that are sold in the tourist trade. They're about the size of little ring boxes. Just boxes and boxes of that stuff. And then tons of old blue and yellow bottles, antique bottles, and there's a couple of rooms that are still stacked to the ceiling with boxes that have never been unloaded. So I told her it might be the ultimate storage war. If she bought that, she might hit pay dirt somewhere inside there. But I think that the higher price stuff's been all sold out. The Mastodon head and which was the Arrowhead collection, which I understand was the real, and a lot of his other minerals. But it didn't bring near the money that they had hoped. So it's quite an oddity there, and I have no idea what the future holds for that. But I'll be a meeting with the commissioners in the morning, and then tomorrow evening I'll be going to Carville Alliance meeting, and they're working on a couple of projects down there. So, but anyway, I spent a day last week in Arriba. I actually made 8 contacts in Arriba last week, and they're all lined out there under Arriba. And today we met with a development group for west of McDonald's, really exploring that process of maybe looking at tax increment financing. And that is an economic development tool that I'm not yet educated about, but I'm going to learn a lot more about it pretty quick. So
Say again,
we'll
what
see.
is it?
Tax increment financing. It's called TIF. And what that is it has to do with creating like a special district or a special area that needs a lot of infrastructure investment, curb and gutter, sewer, water, and that there is an arrangement made. And again, I don't know what it all takes to get something like that approved or off the ground, but they used it a lot in Lodo in Denver, in that they then make an agreement with the local government that the increase in the property valuation due to the development, that a major portion of that goes back to the retirement of that money that's borrowed to put in the infrastructure. So they go to municipal lenders and they borrow, maybe several $1 million and put in all of the street, curb, gutter, all of that, and then all of the development that happens goes out for a period of, I understand, no more than 25 years, but it's kind of like municipal bond process, but in a little different flavor. So we're going to start having that conversation, and I'm trying to get myself educated on that process. It's been done in Colorado, several different places, but
I think that's what they did on East Colfax.
it was a TIF, it was like that. Lyman's had 3 different special improvement districts, and this is a newer mechanism that they'd like to explore, the developers would like to explore, to try to attract. And one of the later developments is that they'd like to maybe start with a 12-unit apartment building, and then eventually adding other related services, hotels, eventually a Starbucks. But we'll see what happens. But it was a good, productive conversation, and I understand that there's getting to be quite a few different commercial concerns at least interested in the area. So he's doing a decent job marketing it. And it's owned by a company called Poudre Bay Capital out of Windsor. So anyway.
What is the Rural Philanthropy Days
Okay, listening tour. Okay, the Rural Philanthropy Days, if we've talked about it before, I'm sure we've touched on it a couple of times, but the Rural Philanthropy Days are and it's been started by some of the founders, the Anschutz family, Betcher, El Pomar, all of these real foundation, statewide foundations get together, and they have Rural Philanthropy Days in the summer. And I made a pitch for that for Lincoln County, and we came in second place. Holyoke was awarded the event for June 2016. So they're having a listening tour in February, and we're going to host it at the Hugo Depot on February 26th, if anybody's interested. And that gives a chance for some local leaders, if the mayor can make it or any board members would like to make it. It gives a chance to talk to some of those funders about your specific area, specifically in Lincoln County in the area. And so I'm putting that together. They're hitting all 9 counties in 3 days in the region. So they're only spending 90 minutes. So it's at 4:30 p.m. They'll be there from 4:30 till 6 on the 26th of February. And then that's it. Then they're back on the road, back to Denver. But that is kind of a good preview of what's going to be going on next summer at the Rural Philanthropy Days in Holyoke. But that's a lot bigger commitment to try to make. That's a couple of day event, which I probably like to try to make it if I can. That's when you get a chance to pitch your project to a round table, all these different small round tables of funders to see whether it's a good fit or not for your community. So that's what that's about. It's some of the funders are on that tour. There's a tour of about 15 people that come in. So.
Did
Any other questions?
Jeremy take over All About Auto in Lyman?
Yeah, Jeremy Otto, and I'm working with him. Because Don Otto, his health is really failing, and so Linda and Jeremy are running that shop, and Jeremy's fiance, and they're working together. In fact, I have to meet with them tomorrow sometime, and we're looking at trying to help them get some financing, so that transition can happen and stay within the family and stay right there in Lyman.
Good people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know Ross works with them a lot. Were anybody interested in the theater in Lyman? I'll be putting out a website address here pretty soon for those who would like to volunteer. We're going to take volunteers online with our new website. It's not up yet, but I'll be getting the address out when it is up. And what we're planning on doing is opening in February and there's going to be what we kind of call crew leaders that will have up to 2 to 3 volunteers for each showing, and we're going to try to have a trial opening the weekend of the 5th and 6th of February, then maybe have a more of a bigger event, a grand reopening on Valentine's Day weekend. And so we'll see how that goes. But the furnace is down right now. I've been using electric heaters, and the York Community Foundation went in on Saturday, and I ended up wearing my stocking cap the whole time. But
Oh, man.
we worked for about 4 hours. I had spent the whole time just about cleaning the popcorn machine. So anyway, yeah, and we're gonna be rinse vacuuming and painting the floor, or at least some painting, and getting it ready to fire back up. And we're getting the furnaces repaired.
What kind of movies?
Regular.
Is it reel to reel or?
No, it's all
they bought
digital.
the updated-
Yeah, in 2000, we completed the digital conversion in September 2012. And we were open for the new digital format in Labor Day weekend of 2012. And so it's been leased for 3 years now to Ryan Kaufman. And Ryan Kaufman is in the media business, and he ran it for 3 years, and now he works full-time for a radio station, 1300 AM or something like that in Colorado Springs. It's a sports station. And so he's no longer leasing the theater. And so we put out an RFP for new tenants, and we came back with only one interested party, and we really didn't feel like it was going to probably work very well, because it takes a little bit of financial wherewithal to be able to get the movies, and you have to have credit, and you're going to have to put up a certain amount of money to make that happen. But if anybody's interested in the process, we invite all volunteers to sign up.
Where does who handles the expense and income of that now?
So now the foundation handles it. And so now what happened, because the theater was donated to York Community Foundation in the end of 2011, December 31st of 2011, the Steeles, Larry and Marlene Steele, donated the theater to the foundation because they did not want to try to take up the $52,000 it took to upgrade to digital. And that's what we did. We raised money. We got it upgraded to digital. We got some grants. We did some fundraisers. And we upgraded to digital and then had it rented out to Ryan Kaufman for 3 years. And now we're taking it over. And we got a lot of new ideas about using the theater more as a community format, still running late release movies in the digital format. But then in addition, trying to make it more widely available for community-based things, for Morgan Community College seminar if they want. We might take out a couple of rows of seats and build a stage, so the live theater group in Hugo might find use of it. Putting a podium and mic there so that we could use it for other venues other than just movies. But renting it out for private parties. And also there's a church group on Sundays that plans on continuing to use the space, not for the projector, just for space. And we're going to try to work out an agreement in exchange for maybe some more volunteer cleaning services.
Do they have an upstairs?
There is a projection room upstairs, yeah.
Oh, just projection?
It's just a room, and it's about half the size of this room. It's kind of long and skinny. It's about the half size of this room. And so there's a lot of expensive equipment there, but we're going to try to, and then we're going to try to continue to run this as a volunteer thing, build hopefully enough cash flow that we can keep rolling in more improvements as we go on. Eventually adding better seats or seats with cup holders, better floor covering than just the cement, eventually painting more, upgrading the air conditioning, which is very early on our list. Paint, like I say, a lot of interior painting and just a whole series of upgrades. Just like a house, you can never stop.
How did they heat it before?
It's got regular forced air furnaces, and they're relatively recent. It's just the fan went out on the main one, and the guy we got to come in there had to get another one ordered, so it got pretty chilly, but we're all right. We didn't let anything freeze up. So,
Got a question.
yeah.
What's the website where you mount?
It's not up yet. It'll be Lincoln Theater something, .net or something. I don't have it yet, but it's a real easy website, but I'll get it out when it's functioning. And then you can just sign up, and then if you say, yeah, I'd like to volunteer, and then you can just tell a crew leader, I'll sell concessions, or I'll sell tickets, or I'll help go up and run the movie. But running the movie is minimum anymore. It's all set on a scheduler. You ingest this digital movie, and then it fires up on its own. We're also going to have on-screen advertising, so we'll see. There are other, Bill Bennett is the point person on this. I don't know if anybody knows Bill, but Bill's from Hugo. He's retired from the phone company, and he's taken field trips down to Holly to see how they're running their volunteer theater. And they run a volunteer theater in Julesburg and several other places. There's getting to be quite a few volunteer theaters because it's...
Flanders is still up and running too.
Yeah, Cheryl's doing a good job over there. Cheryl took a look at the Lyman Theater, but she decided not to take it on. So
They took January off also.
Did they?
in Blackburn.
did they?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, we took it off, and thank goodness because the furnace is down anyway. So we got to get it back up, get everything cleaned up, and then we're gonna fire up. See how it goes.
I guess no chance of ever bringing back the drive-in, huh?
No time soon. But
They have
that's
better speakers.
Yeah.
exactly.
Digital now.
Thank you, Troy.
You bet. Thank you.
Anything else for Troy? I don't have anything on my mayor's report.
Okay, so for item 12, Corey Hoffman will be available until 9:30. So, we can just go ahead and adjourn. He said that if you guys have any questions, I can give you his phone number. You guys can call him and talk to him about anything.
So I'd
Okay.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Beverly? Is that
I
Beverly?
just have one more comment. You said Ron was asking about that property. I don't know how he knows what's in that, that there's stuff in that house or whatever, but people around here should know vacant properties are not at their leisure to go in and inspect or whatever. It's private property no matter who owns it, even if it's tax property.
I never said that he was going
No,
to.
I understand. You said there's stuff in there.
No, I said there was his stuff, going into his yard, going into his house, going onto his roof of his house.
Full of crap.
But see, people shouldn't be knowing what's in this,
You can tell it hits you in the head.
I'm just saying, private property is private
I never
property.
said that he was going on to that.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
Caleb? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
He made a motion, so I'll second.
I moved to
Oh.
adjourn. He seconded it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you.
You have choice.
How goes that shoulder?